Bonjour, my name is Bobby Hobgood and I teach French. I teach in a blended environment where most of my students' work is done online, but we have periodic meetings synchronously using a client called Blackboard Collaborate. This is an activity that's a part of a lesson called Allons, Vacances, which is Let's Go on Vacation. This is for a level 2 French class. And the theme of the unit is talking about vacation and the associated vocabulary and activities for vacation. The activity itself is an integrated performance assessment. In the communication mode, it's presentational. The task, as you see here, is for students to reserve a hotel room at the beach. They are doing that on behalf of their family. So in terms of the activity itself, they're going to be recording a script that they write that's no longer than 5 minutes, and they will record that script in a built-in audio recording tool in the learning management system that we're using. So that can be sent directly to me. Other students won't be able to hear that recording. In terms of the script, they must imagine that they are calling a local travel agency and leaving a message with the details about their trip and what they desire as a family for this trip. So they have to indicate things like the number of people in the family, the number of rooms they'd like, arrival departure dates, where they want to go, and to practice the verbs and the activities we've learned in this unit, they must identify at least 3 activities that they want to do there. For example, go swimming, go sunbathing, go out to eat. And then they have to leave their name and a phone number. The assessment, as I mentioned, is the biggest part of this activity since it's an integrated performance assessment. And they're going to use a rubric that I will show you in just a moment to help guide their work. And they themselves are going to play a part in the development of the rubric. So in terms of my thoughts, my predictions about the lesson, they've had the opportunity to practice listening, reading, and speaking this vocabulary, so they're comfortable with it. They know that this is a realistic task. This is something that someone might actually do. So hopefully that will be motivating for them. And because there is the built-in option of choosing how many people are in their family, which beach, where in the country they want to go, what activities, arrival and departure dates, they can be creative. They can bring some of themselves to the activity. And for students in this class, it's a very motivating thing. I know some of the students may struggle a little bit with some of the requirements for this integrated performance task. I think some of them will likely do the very minimum, and some of them will see this as an invitation to just go crazy and do a lot. But I think that's probably normal for any class of learners, that there's going to be that range. In terms of my role in the activity, it's important that I set this up clearly and give students a timeline or a checklist, particularly since they first are going to suggest to me a criteria that will be a part of their evaluation. So as a part of the activity, they will be working with a partner to identify an additional criteria that will be used in their evaluation. So I'm going to make sure that they get that to me as soon as possible and remind them of it if they don't. I'll also be there to provide support in terms of any technical issues that they have. I'll remind them of the tutorial section within our learning management system where they can get more information about the recording tool. And if I notify in advance any problems with their recordings, if someone submits early, then I can identify those in advance and perhaps we can work on those. I want to show you the rubric that we'll be using. As I mentioned, there are 4 criteria that have already been established: vocabulary, function and structure, comprehension, and then usage. But at the very bottom, you'll notice here, there is an empty row with the heading au choix, which means they can choose that criteria. So they will first, with a partner, brainstorm a criteria, and then jointly they will submit that criteria to me. I will approve it and then provide for them what constitutes the 3 levels here, or 3 ratings from expert, competent to progressing. Thank you for listening.